Hello, it's Petey at Fremont Guitar Hoedown Shindig Extravaganza. Good times for all. What I have here is a jig that I made for routing truss rod channels. Um, I wanted something cool and I wanted something that would kind of handle all situations. I've seen guys do it with, a router table. I've seen guys do it with just a top like this, and then they clamp it down, and that's what they use. And they use a router and a guide for that. And they're all great ideas. Obviously, they've been working forever for everyone. I was just trying to come up with something that handled a bunch of situations that was one thing. And so what I was determined to do, and because you guys like me, we have small shops. We don't want 3 or 4 different ways to do it. We just want one way that can handle everything if we can, and it's not big. And we probably don't have crazy machining tools. I have some tools, but nothing crazy. But I wanted to make this as simply as possible, and cheaply, of course, and do it with stuff you can just get. I pretty much got everything except for a couple things at Home Depot or Lowe's, one of the two. It's just plywood. It's some all thread. The only thing I had to order because they don't carry it around where I lived, that nobody had them, was nut inserts. But those are easily ordered and gotten in a couple days from numerous places. So I wanted to make it so the average Joe can throw this together. You could, now that I know what I wanted and got it going, I could make it in a day, and you have a really great jig. So what this does is this top actually slides off like so, and I made calls that hold the neck, and I'm doing a neck now that needs the space because it's from a 50s arch top, and it's one piece. I mean, a lot of guys scarf their neck on a single blank of wood and then add the heel, and before they add the heel, they have a jig that looks kind of like this, clamp it down, route the truss rod channel, and that's awesome. However, that sucks for when you have the heel on it. So this actually is adjustable on both sides. So for this particular setup, I would take it and tighten these down each side and kind of center it on the board. Everything's meant to be centered to some extent. It doesn't have to be perfect, but pretty good. Tighten that one down, and you tighten the other side down. Doesn't have to be super tight, but tight enough to where the neck's not going to move around. Hence the nut inserts for everything. And then that's in place. I mean, it slides back and forth, but that's fine for the moment. And then the top goes on. Put your other screws in. You don't tighten those down just yet. Just get them started. I like to tighten them just a little bit to where it doesn't move around too loosey-goosey. And then what I made is 2 little blocks that fit within the channel. And they fit precisely in the channel, and they have center marks on them. And you have your center mark on your neck, whether it's this neck or whatever, it doesn't matter. The neck, you have a center line on it. These slide right down in there and allow you to line that up, that line with the line of those, so you know that you're centered on your neck, and then you just tighten it down. Takes a couple seconds, nothing crazy. Tighten these down. Like so. And then you take the all thread, these are adjustable, the cawls, and you just tighten them up to where the neck is tight up against the top here. And that's not going anywhere. You have you're using a plunge router. Fits in the channel, slides right in, go down, go back and forth, make your passes, and you have a perfect channel that's perfectly centered, which is really cool. Now the other thing about this, which is cool, this is one of the things I wanted to build in, is the reason this is off the ground is for the heel, but also because of that. Let's take these out. The other application, because there's a lot of great old guitars that have either steel reinforced necks or they have no truss rod. And you know, they don't need a neck reset. There's no reason to take the whole guitar apart. That's ridiculous. So this comes off. We'll loosen these. And what you can do is, in fact, a guitar or a neck, you know, the guitar is in one piece. I made this so this sits in here just like this. And the only thing you would have to do is when you get this tightened up is support the back of the guitar a little bit so there's not a bunch of, you know, pressure hanging on the neck. And you could do a truss rod on a guitar that's all together. You know, you've pulled if you just need to pull the fretboard off and fix that, whatever the application is. And that was the whole point behind this jig, is I could do all of that with one thing that's only this big. And it's actually super functional. So that's where it's at, you know. I think it's a really cool thing for anybody that's trying to figure out how to do this in a smaller environment. And like I said, one thing for all applications, which is super handy because, man, you know, I'm small time. But there it is. That's the Fremont truss rod routing jig, custom made. Like I said, it's very easy to make. Let me see. I'll do a little bit of a closer picture, and then you can kind of really see up close what's involved here, which is not a whole lot. On the sides. And if you have any questions, man, send me a message. You know, I can tell you what parts to buy, but it's pretty simple and straightforward. Like I said, it probably cost me all of. I kind of had the wood, but if you had to buy, you know, a sheet of something to make it, that's $30. So probably you could make the whole thing if you had to buy the wood for $40, probably $50 maybe tops, and that's pretty great, you know, for something that handles so much for you. But there it is. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you like it. And if you have any ideas on how to make it better and you make one that's cooler or functions better, man, let me know. I'd love to know. I'm always about making better tools and making things just more productive for everybody in this business because we need it. We need it bad. And some things are great to buy made. I would never say they're not. I made this to handle lots of things because I didn't see anything like it. But, you know, there's certain jigs that StewMac and like Luthier Mercantile make that are, for the price and what they are, they're just not going to get better. They're so thought out. I think they're brilliant, and that the money's well spent on those. But I didn't see anything like this, so I made one. That's the deal. Cool, man. Have a good day.